Hello again, Doran Markowitz here from D Guitars Miami with another edition of This Week in Cool Custom Guitar Restorations. This week's particular instrument is a 5-string fretless Wishbass that my friend Tracey brought me to restore for him. Basically, it had a few problems to it. It had various wormholes throughout the body that needed to be filled. It had various separations of the two layers that needed to be repaired. It also needed some refining of the shape around the rounded areas, which weren't actually very round. They were kind of squared off. He wasn't too thrilled with that. And it needed refinishing and basically a reassembly of everything as well. So the first thing I had to do was I had to fill all of the wormholes, and after I did that, I had to repair the areas that were separating, especially here on the tip of the cutaway, which actually was separating more in terms of a shrinkage that was occurring between the two layers, and it was pretty bad. So I filled it using veneer and sawdust and some super glue, and after that was all done and sanded, it came out really nice. After I finished all that, including the reshaping of these areas to make it a little bit more streamlined, I finished the entire bass in a clear Danish Oil Stain. What's nice about Danish Oil Stain is that it hardens underneath the surface of the wood, which means that it saturates into the grain of the wood, and then as it dries it hardens. Rather than most stains that just basically stain the outer layer of the wood, this actually goes deeper. And what's nice about that is that it basically makes it impervious to sweat and various emollients and basic chemicals, which is good. So it'll last a nice long time, and it applies very easily. It's a very good job. It's a very easy job to do. I did 3 coats of Danish oil on this. Came out beautifully. Oh, the other thing he wanted me to do was he wanted me to craft a new control cavity cover to replace the missing aluminum one. So I made one out of a beautiful piece of 1/8" Paduke. I also had to replace the missing volume and tone pot. So I installed a 500K volume and a 250K tone, which goes well with the Ken Armstrong soap bar that's at about 14K, and I installed a new Switchcraft jack. I also had to craft a new nut to replace the old one, which was a very poorly cut piece of corian. I mean, this was really shoddy workmanship. So I cut a beautiful piece of rosewood, and I cut it to the shape of the headstock area, you know, as you would see on a real upright. You would see a nice piece of ebony. So I cut a nice piece of rosewood, which I think went very well with it, and I reinstalled all the hardware. I did a full setup on it afterwards. The action set up at about 3/32 of an inch. She plays and sounds beautiful. It's got a really nice fat neck similar to an upright, and she has such a growl to her. Nice smooth sound. Let's pull the tone back up. This is a great bass. I mean, it took some work to get it to where it should be, especially for a player of his demanding standards, and I think I pulled it off. I think he's going to be very pleased. I've worked on numerous basses of his before, including his Real Tobias and a couple of his Michael Kelly Dragonflies. So I always love seeing repeat customers, especially somebody like Matt. He's a phenomenal bass player, and he deserves to have a really good 5-string fretless. This is a superb instrument. You can find them out there. Oftentimes they need some work, but you know, they're worth looking into. What's cool is because the neck is so fat, it doesn't need a truss rod. So it doesn't have a truss rod, so the whole thing is all wood, and that really translates more into the resonance that's there. I mean, I'm just playing this thing through my little Ross 15 watt bass practice amp. I'm not even running it through my SWR amp. It's got such an impressive tone to it. I can only imagine what it would sound through my real rig. Okay, so anyway, until next time, if you have any questions about something like this, if you need a restoration done on an instrument, whether it's a fretless or a guitar or a fretted bass, if you need headstock brake re-glued or fretwork done, electronics, refinishing, or if you have a design idea in mind that you would like to see built, don't hesitate to give me a call at 305-896-1811. Until next time, Doran Markowitz from D Guitars Miami. Thanks for watching and have a great day.